You are listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything with the urban sports scene on Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. Wole, Ray, and Mo are your hosts. What's good, fellas?
How's it going?
Good, man. With the delay trying to get on here. You know what I'm saying? With this prehistoric laptop. But we're here. We in the building early.
It's Super Bowl week, and we still got Washington topics. Must be something good brewing, bro.
Yeah, we do. It is, man. We got Washington topic. We got one topic.
Hey, Washington topic. But you know, that opens up a can of worms. I'm be honest, I'm actually excited for this podcast because on our other pod, we had a kind of a spirited debate, and it had to end due to time restrictions. But now we can just bring Mo into the fold because I know where Mo stands on this. So I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts as we continue this discussion, I should say, on Deshaun Watson.
We may still have time restrictions. Who knows?
Crazy.
Who knows how this will all work out, Ray? We can't talk indefinites. Who knows how this is going to work out, brother? All right, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Search All Burgundy and Gold, everything. Also, tweet us at Urban Sports Scene and hit us up on our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. It's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. Well, like Ray mentioned, we'll debate whether the Washington football team should enter the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. Deshaun Watson was out of the Houston Texans. And, a lot of fans and even some reporters think that Washington has a solid chance. All right, so Mo, in your honest opinion, not being bullish or whatnot, if they go all in this situation, if they decide to go all in the situation, I'll start the discussion this way. Which player should be involved in this offer?
If they can find a way to pull this off, given the cap space, they got about $43 million in cap money. We're thinking about Deshaun Watson coming in at $40 million per year alone. They're going to have to move heaven and earth, right? They're going to have to move some people. The biggest piece that is notable that you can get rid of, because the ask that I've seen so far is 2 first rounders,
two starters,
and 2 defensive players.
Yeah, 2 starters.
They want 2 starters?
2 starters.
Oh, so the first person that has to go is Landon Collins.
Okay.
Even though he's hurt, the first person that has to go is Landon Collins because one, that's a dual purpose. Cam Crow has to stay on the field one way or another. Right? There's no way I want to see a Washington football team game next year without Cam Crow starting.
Yeah.
So that means Landon Collins is going to have to go. And then who's the next quality starter?
Jonathan Allen still got 1 year left on his deal.
There's 1 year left on his deal. They picked up the option, right?
Yeah, it's 1 year left. He's going to be in 1 year. So,
but you got to move money. So we got to think about who.
Yeah, then you got to hope. Yeah, and that's just true. Then you hoping, to be real with you, you're hoping that Alex retires. There's a lot that you have to hope. I agree. There's a lot.
It's going to be a sticky situation. So let's go John Allen because you're going to have to pay him a lot of money coming up. And one of these linemen got it. One of these linemen is going to get the short end of the stick regardless. We know about the top end we know about what they feel about Deron Payne.
Yeah.
Chase and Sweat still have time, so we don't have to worry about them. So John and Landon Collins make the most sense of notable players on the defense. And then, are you willing to give up those 2 first-round draft picks, man? We're talking about a team that is doing everything in the right way. I've been saying it all year, even though I'm not a fan of the team. Yeah. They're starting to do things the right way. And when you start to do things the right way, fans get a little bit more antsy, right? Okay. And I don't want fans getting antsy to the point where they mess up the good thing that's building, right? It takes time, man. Good cooking takes time, man. Let things marinate, man. Let things progress. Don't be in a rush to put something in the microwave that needs to be in the oven.
So don't be like Tampa? Because isn't that what Tampa did? They rushed everything all in one.
No. Tampa's quite different.
So how? Explain, because they were a bad team last year. They weren't a good team.
I'm gonna let Ray take this one because that's in his division.
No. You take this one. We've already had this debate. I'm gonna jump in.
We already talked about this. Go ahead.
I'll jump in after you because you need to offer a different perspective. He already knows where I stand on this. Yeah. Go ahead though.
Yeah.
So Tampa did not do the same thing last year. Tampa was a 7-9 team last year.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tampa was a 7-9 team last year.
Washington 7-9.
Yeah, that's the only. That's the
playoff
only
team
thing.
too. Playoff
That's
team
the
too.
That's the only thing that's the same. 7-9, the record, right? So 7-9, the record. You come in, you had a team that had 2 Pro Bowl receivers already. They had 2 tight ends that were Mike
Godwin.
Evans.
He made a year.
Godwin was the number 1 rated wide receiver in NFL last year. Believe it or not.
He made the Pro Bowl last year.
He made the Pro Bowl last year. So Godwin had people thinking that Mike Evans was not the number 1 last year.
No, I know Godwin was good. Everybody know Godwin was solid. I'm not going. He was solid.
Godwin had a great year the year before this season that just passed.
Yeah,
that was his best season of his career. Even though Mike takes the coverage and Godwin had favorable matchups.
Yeah,
we're not there, right? So all Tampa made low budget moves. They brought in Tom Brady at $25 million a year.
Yeah.
Right, not $40 million. Right. Yeah. That's a whole nother $15 million that can go elsewhere.
Yeah.
They brought in Leonard Fournette for peanuts at the beginning of the year because he blew his opportunity in Jacksonville. Yeah. So that's another peanut signing. They brought in Gronk. Gronk's contract his last year that New England owed him was right under $10 million.
Okay.
Right. So now you have 3 players for $35 million. Essentially, right? 35 because of Tom's 25 and Fournette was on the last year of his rookie deal, but he got cut. So because he got cut, he signed for the veteran minimum. So he's probably somewhere around $2 million. You're talking about 3 players for $37 million right there. That's still not the price of Deshaun Watson, which is $40 million per one guy.
Which is
right? And then they brought in Antonio Brown after about 4 or 5 weeks, and he didn't play until week 9. Week 10. And his salary might have been the veteran minimum, and he didn't make all of it because he didn't play all the games. So when you look at it, it's a lot of signings for the same amount of money that's going to equate to one person in Deshaun Watson. So that's why it's not the same. That's why.
So I get your point, but at the end of the day, you can still work numbers around and bring certain players to fit with Deshaun Watson. Like that's the thing. Like you're looking at it as if the Washington football team, their salary, they haven't spent money throughout for 3-4 years. So they have money in the bank. So they wanted to make the move. So if they wanted to make a move, they can get Deshaun and still have players around Deshaun. It's not like it's not a difference. But you're going to trade some of these players. I'm saying like you're going to trade Landon. So for instance, if you're going to go after Deshaun, you're going to create a plan where you're able to get Deshaun and have some money left over. I know that the GM, I'm pretty confident Rivera, what's his name, Hurney and Mayhew are ready. They are prepared to. We're going to make this offer. There are players that they will unload for this offer to work for their organization. But if you're not just not going to have him by himself. Like for instance, like you're going to sign. To your point, like they signed AB, right? They like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed AB for nothing. They signed Gronk for nothing. So for my point is, if you sign a Deshaun Watson, you trade away Landon Collins. Say you maybe want to trade Matt Ioannidis, which I like, but you may want to do that because you feel you're deep at your defensive line. So those are guys that you've paid and you can get them off the books because you want Deshaun Watson because that's a 25-year-old quarterback that who is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL period. So when you got that guy, you know what I mean? Again, I'm in favor. So I want people to know I'm in favor of going the route that you and Ray are. Like that's the way I've always done football. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm saying that when you're blessed with an opportunity to get that guy, like I think sometimes we all complicate certain things. Like a 25-year-old dude, that is that dude. You get that dude. You don't argue about getting that dude. Like if you had an opportunity to get, say, I'm gonna go basketball. So if you had an opportunity to get LeBron James, right? You get LeBron James. Would you not want to get LeBron James?
LeBron James is different.
I'm just saying, like Deshaun Watson is one of the best, top 5 quarterback.
He just got to a top 5 quarterback this year. He's been scratching the surface, but he just got to a top 5. And the 1 year that he was a top 5 quarterback, his team was horrible. If we want to keep it,
it's horrible, but that wasn't on. Again, we talked about this last show. So again, football is a team sport.
Right.
It's a quarterback, unless you have, in terms of skill positions, unless you're Aaron Rodgers, that you can make certain wide receivers look decent. Football is that you need players to help you out, right?
And
so
that's my point. That's
yeah,
I'm
no,
getting.
I get your point. But see, in the Texans, I don't like use the Texans as an example because the Texans are giving nothing on defense. Like that defense was horrible. It wasn't average. It was horrible. Even J.J. Watt came up to Watson and apologized for wasting your years because our defense was piss poor. You know, J.J. Watt he comes to DC. It's not going to be the Houston Texans defense, regardless if they trade away Landon Collins, they trade away. As much as I like Jonathan Allen, if they trade away Jonathan Allen because they still got dudes in that position on that line that should still be effective enough to win with a Deshaun Watson.
But the team is trying to build. And with the first rounder, an impact first rounder and a quality second round pick, this team can be a game or a couple of plays away from the NFC Championship with that defense, because that's how we think about that defense.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take 2 steps forward to take a step back because of a nice, shiny Porsche, right?
Yeah.
Like Deshaun is the beautiful Porsche or whatever sports car you want, but you got to understand he's going to be driving through the city traffic. You can't rev that thing up.
But this is elite.
You can't rev that thing up if you get rid of players.
I agree, but I would say that this wasn't elite. And then we got to look at this point. Obviously, Washington thinks differently because they're willing to trade away already a first round pick because we saw the rumors and the reports out there that they're already about to give Matthew Stafford give the Detroit a first round pick for Matthew Stafford. To me, if you're going to give out first round picks, I'm gonna be honest. If you're going to give out first round picks, it's not going to be for Matthew Stafford.
Ray, I said Ray. Wole, 1 first round pick is different than 2.
I get it.
And the next 2 best players you can
get.
But
that's what 32-year-old. Yeah, I get you. But that's what 32-year-old quarterback. This is 25. This is 25.
But you're getting a 32-year-old that you can drop right into the team and not have to worry about anything.
Yeah, but you can drop. I agree with that. But you can do that. Again, you can do that with a player in free agency. Like you can do that in free agency and not give up any draft.
You need to have money. You need to have money in free agency. You need to have money.
What I'm saying is that I'm taking Deshaun out. I'm going back to Stafford. If you're willing already, this is my point. If you're willing already to give up a first round pick for Watson, to your point about giving up collateral and building the right way, because we're gonna stick with that theme, building the right way. You're not giving up a first round pick at all. Like you're not doing that at all because you're building the right way. If you're building, that's your point, building the right way. You can sign a quarterback in free agency who you can drop in.
Like who?
And keep a 19 and keep a 19.
I know. Like who?
You can keep, like for instance, you can like I believe Jameis is a free agent.
Do not bring Jameis.
You can drop. If we're talking about dropping in, like again, as much as I like Matthew Stafford, so we're gonna use this point. As much as I love Matthew Stafford. What has Matthew Stafford done? I love Matthew and I like him, but in terms of winning football games, what has Matthew Stafford done?
Wole, you are talking about a team who was led by their defense this year, right? In the games that Alex didn't play.
Yeah.
Alex and his game managing style, the games that he didn't play.
They got far.
The team had a negative record.
Yeah.
Right? Team had a negative record.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So you can't bring it like Cam Newton's not it. Cam Newton's not. You can't just. You're not dropping. What I'm saying is you're not dropping any caliber of quarterback in there. You're dropping a Matt Stafford in there.
But you're doing a first rounder though. Like we're talking about we're talking about building the right. So we're talking about building the right way. We're using that argument. If we're gonna use that building the right way, because I'm about keeping first rounders too. Like I am. I'm about keeping first rounders. The ball went off. The bulb went out to me was when all right. You're giving up a first rounder for Matthew Stafford. If you're going to do that, like if you're going to do that at 32 and you treating him like we saw they trade him with the Rams. That was a lot. That was a lot.
Never do that for Matthew Stafford would do what the Rams did. Trading 1 first round pick and a 3rd rounder is a different type of trade. I'm gonna tell you what. Whether you're doing it the right way. When we look at 19, when we look at number 19 for this football team, there's 3 positions of need: quarterback, wide receiver, and linebacker. However you want to chalk it up, those are the 3 positions that you got to get a player in. Yeah. When you go to the draft and you look at number 19, the quarterback you're going to get is Mac Jones, not cutting it. The linebacker you're going to get is going to be a reach. The linebacker you get is going to be a reach. The only linebacker at 19 that might make sense is the kid from Tulsa, but he's going to be out of position because you need somebody in the middle, not somebody on the edge. And then after that, you need we said linebacker, we said quarterback, and we said wide receiver.
Wow.
Getting another wide receiver without a quarterback in place makes no sense to me. You can't make that make sense to me. Not with the quarterback on the roster right now with Alex Smith. We got what's my boy number 8, Kyle Allen coming back from a major leg injury, and he was subpar before he got hurt.
Oh, he was subpar. He wasn't good at all to me. Go ahead.
We're just gonna say subpar.
Yeah, you say subpar. I say not good. I like to say not. I like to say not good. I like to say not good.
Okay, he's not good. he wasn't so good, right?
Yeah, he wasn't
so good before he played. And then you turn around and the third quarterback was Haskins.
Yeah.
So if you drop Matthew Stafford in there, you have a bona fide 4,000-yard quarterback who throws close to 30 touchdowns every year. I'm not going to say he's not devoid of talent in Detroit at the wide receiver position. He's always had a solid wide receiver core, right? I believe in Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
I don't believe in too many players on this team. I believe in 17. 17 can be a player that is known around the league. 17 has ability. So 17's ability with Matthew Stafford's arm and arm talent, if you drop Matthew Stafford in there, right? And you've replaced the quarterback, even though it's not the conventional way, but you have a player at quarterback that you are solid on. Yeah. You know what he's going to produce even on a 5-11 team or a 3-13 team, right? So now you insert him into a team that's all this team needed at quarterback was a person that can stretch the field a little bit more than what Alex did, right? Last year. And you probably win 2 or 3 more games in the regular season, and you probably contest or win that game versus Tom Brady because it got out of hand a little bit towards, they made it close with Heineke, improbable play that nobody could have ever pictured and all that. But having a veteran in there that knows how to play football, even though he's never won a playoff game, the ability that Matt Stafford has with this team, you can manage that versus reaching for a player at 19 because you could get this player at 19 and fail.
Yeah.
Because of the 3 main positions that you need. So
and which I do agree. Again, if
I take Matthew Stafford, it's not exactly building the way that we're talking about, but it's not reaching. It's not going to break your back because you have $43 million that you can then put veteran talent around him and take this team to the next level. Like I've been saying.
Yeah, but you can do things like this. For instance, if I wanted to build and win football games and do it a certain way, I can trade. Again, I can trade for Watson. I can sign AJ Green for not a lot of money. I can sign AJ Green. I can have AJ Green, Watson. It won't be a lot. I can do this.
I think you're believing that AJ Green wants to come here.
No. I think we talked about this. If you tell AJ if I got Deshaun Watson, AJ Green will think about coming here. Again, if I sign Deshaun Watson, I can make a play to AJ and say I got Deshaun Watson and I got young scary Terry.
Even if
you will get single coverage. I can give you that argument.
But you're not getting AJ Green for as cheap as you think you're getting.
AJ Green, if you look at the salary.com, that's his salary. Isn't like they project the salary. It's not as much as the wide receivers that are on the market. It's really lowballing. It's lowballing.
Last year, AJ Green was on the franchise tag for $18 million.
Yeah, and his numbers.
So half is going to be at least the number.
Yeah, it's half because of productivity and because what they did to him. We talked about it, because what they did to him in Cincy, the number is not going to be as much as he should be getting. It's just that's the way the business works. It's unfortunate.
AJ's going to have value on a veteran team.
I'm just telling you, you can make that argument because again, wide receivers like quarterbacks who can air it out, and it's like Watson has a good relationship with multiple players in the NFL. Like just ask DeAndre Hopkins. So I can bring this argument. So I'm saying you can bring talent and you can teach young talent. You can teach young talent because Deshaun is 25. This is a 25-year-old. This is a 25-year-old quarterback. We're not talking about a 32-year-old quarterback. We're talking about a 25-year-old quarterback. You bring a 25-year-old quarterback. You just mentioned the 19th pick. It doesn't matter because that pick. But you're talking about the first pick for next season. So the first pick for next season. So that's the pick that people will be thinking about. You still got a 25-year-old, man, and it's not like an RG3 situation. This is a 25-year-old who started this league balling. Can I jump in for a minute?
Sure. Because all of this back and forth between you guys, what are you trying to build here in Washington? That's my whole issue.
Build. All right,
Are you trying to? You talking about Deshaun Watson? If
he's
he's a game
25. You can
changer,
build around
Matthew Stafford is a game changer.
Yeah.
Are you trying? But you still got to give up a lot to get either
But
one
you
of these
still
guys.
build with a 25-year-old. That's the point. Like we're
If
talking,
you're
you can build with a 25-year-old.
if you're building a
money.
sustainable young team for the future that's going to be
So
competitive
I
every
guess my
season,
point. I guess my
then
point is
the way you guys are hyping it is if they can get to the Super Bowl if they just have this one piece. You know
I mean, but this is my point. This is my point. All right, Ray, this is
Super Bowl, Ray.
like this is the thing. You want to talk about sustainable? No, you're not. He's a Giants fan. You want to talk about sustainable, right? 25. All right, if you get a 25, like when you build a team, what do you build?
Okay.
What are you trying to build a team? You trying to get a quarterback, right? That's what most teams, organizations are trying to do. Most organizations are trying. That's how they build their teams. Like we get the quarterback first, right? You got a 25-year-old, so you already are young.
You keep talking about 25.
Look, a 25 young quarterback. Look, bro, if you say look, any team that gets him, any fan, it's funny because anybody who gets Deshaun Watson is talking totally different. Like real talk, it's talking totally. If Deshaun Watson's playing for the New York Giants, the Jets, the conversation is totally different.
The Jets, seriously.
What about the Jets?
If he signs with the Jets, they still not gonna win.
The Jets,
you know what I'm saying?
Listen, Wole,
you got to build a whole team. You got to build a team.
Deshaun's talent can carry Washington football team as it's assembled today.
Yes,
but it won't be assembled like that.
But it won't be assembled.
No. What's missing, right? What's going to be missing? You say as it's today. What's going to be missing for it?
They're going to be missing out on two impact.
If I told you they can trade Matt Ioannidis, who didn't play last season, and right, who didn't play last season. No, I'm telling you the point. No, this is an argument because this has been out there. This has already been out there. I'm just telling you something that's been out there. If I can trade you Matt Ioannidis. No, this has already been out there in speculation. This has already been out there in speculation. Look it up. It's already been out there.
Okay.
I trade you right, Matt Ioannidis. I'm giving you an example.
Speculation is just speculation.
And if I could trade you Jonathan Allen, right? If I try Jonathan Allen, that's one player missing. That's right. But Settle, you plug in Settle who played well. That team is still good enough. You got Montez Sweat and Chase Young. You still got your cornerstones. I get what y'all trying to say. I understand. Like, but if you look in, we're talking about trading Deshaun Watson. Like, no, let's simplify it. Deshaun Watson. We're complaining about trading Deshaun Watson and losing Jonathan Allen or Matt Ioannidis, Landon Collins, one of these individuals. That's really a debate.
Okay, because you're talking about Deshaun Watson, right?
Yeah.
So this season you had sort of a quarterback carousel.
Yeah.
If you make changes to this roster and you're not able to build through the draft, if you don't have depth, again, we're talking about injuries, we're talking about COVID, so many different factors. And Deshaun Watson, a mobile quarterback who can get hurt, as we've seen with Lamar, Mike Vick, and others. If he gets hurt and you have a different team in the future, are you able to still be successful?
Look at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Like you were this season. No.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm telling you, the Kansas City Chiefs have a quarterback who can get hurt and they sustain. And is their defense better than Washington's defense?
He gets hurt.
He got hurt against. He got hurt. He's missed a few games. He's missed a few games.
3 games in his whole career.
He missed a few games. No, I'm telling you, if he got hurt and he got hurt. No, my point. He got hurt this season. I believe this was last season.
And he didn't miss a game.
All right, missed 3 games. All right. So my point is, their defense isn't as good. Is their defense better than Washington? Is their defense better than Washington?
You can't use that example because
how many games did Deshaun Watson miss his first year? Right. That's pretty much the max of what he's missed. Right. That's his first year. Am I correct? Like I'm just being right. This first year, right?
Okay, so you can't compare him to Mahomes. Mahomes hasn't.
No, I'm just saying we're talking about missing games. You're saying depth. If he misses games, let's eliminate Deshaun Watson. Eliminate missing games because that first year we tore his. That was it. That was it. No, but
that's injury history.
Right? Are you really doing like injury? You can be anybody get hurt. Mahomes got hit with a concussion. I can say Mahomes can get concussions 24/7 because once you get your first concussion, you can get your second or third. We can use that argument.
Okay, but Kansas City is not buying in on one player. You're buying in on one guy.
You're not buying in because your team is going to still be okay. Like I don't get this whole. You're still going to have Terry. You're still going to have Chase Young. You still have a bunch of talented players. What are you losing that's going to be so significant? Like that's the point. What are you really losing?
It's the money to continue to get better because you're going to what is the cheapest talent you can find? Where can you get your cheapest talent?
You can get late draft picks.
In the draft.
Later draft picks. Your first round.
Whether they're the first rounders, whether they're first round or second round to the seventh round. Your cheapest labor force to get quality players is the NFL draft.
And Washington's done a great job. And to your point, and so we go on track record because that's what we're talking about here. If we look at track record, Washington's done great in drafting what rounders other than the first rounders? Third, fourth rounders. Third, fourth rounders. Later round draft picks. I'm saying later round draft picks, right? Later round draft picks.
Name these people.
Terry
McLaurin is it.
Scary Terry.
Antonio Gibson.
Running out of time, folks. Running out of time. Yes, Scary
Terry.
Antonio
Gibson and Terry McLaurin is it. Name another one.
We're good.
Cam Curl, McLaurin, Gibson. Who else is on this roster? Matt Ioannidis is a third rounder. Who else is another one? Those are decent, good. Those are real good ones.
That's it.
I just named you. Jimmy Moreland. I said Cam Crow. Jimmy Moreland.
Jimmy Moreland's not a good player. He's part
of this team's established players.
Jimmy Moreland's not a good player.
No, he's one of their established players. So he's one of their young established players. I just named you like we should give up anybody. I just named you an established player. He's one of their established players. You can't have it both ways. He's one of their established players. He starts. He's a starting nickel. Matt Ioannidis. I didn't name you already. I didn't name you five. I named you five. I named you five. I named you five. I'm sorry. Let me do it again. Tim Settle. I'm sorry. I didn't name Tim Settle. Sorry. Tim Settle. Tim Settle's one who's a good player.
Tim Settle's not a good player. He works for this team.
Like this is what he's trying to do. Look at Tim Settle's stats. He had like 7 sacks as a D tackle. But you can't diminish that. You can't diminish what you try. Like you can't diminish him, bro.
He works for this team, Wole.
Cam Curl. I'm gonna name Cam Curl.
Tim Settle cannot go anywhere else and get 7 sacks.
You like Fabian Moreau? You like Fabian Moreau, right? You think he's been misused, right?
Fabian Moreau is a free agent.
But you liked him though, right? You said no. You said who have they drafted that's good from late rounds? You like Fabian Moreau, right? You like Fabian, right?
No, he's not a good player.
You just said, you know what? All right, sorry. Let's go back. All right,
he's not a good player.
I'm gonna name 5 for you. I'm gonna name 5 for you again. I'm gonna name 5. I think you're missing. Here we go. Matt Ioannidis. I named one. Scary Terry. Gibson, Cam Curl, Settle. Do you want more? I mean, I can name you all late rounders.
Wole, what has that resulted in?
Good draft.
No, but you don't win.
What has it resulted in
the goal is to win.
Right. Okay. The goal is to win. You're right. You're right. You just told me again. Your goal is to win.
Right.
The goal is to win.
Okay,
so now they're changing up. So to your point though, right? The goal is to win. Over the last some odd years, they've done the draft thing. That's all they've been doing, the draft thing. Over this regime, if you want to be real.
What regime? What regime?
Of the new regime, like of the last 5, do the math, of the last 5 years, right? I want to say, which key players have they traded for?
Alex Smith?
No. Alex Smith, yep, Alex Smith, near the quarterback. Name, come on. That's Smith. Go ahead. That really was, but go ahead. What key player, what mega deal have they traded for?
What I'm saying is, this is not the same regime, right? This is a new regime, right? And they're gonna evaluate talent different. We've already established this group, from what it's looking like, is going to build differently based on the history.
Of course.
Correct?
Yes.
All right. So, dude, this team hasn't been competitive based on all the people that you're naming, but now we're looking at a competitive group where you can continue to build off. You're saying that you can build with Deshaun Watson, but I'm saying you can't build the same way because you have to give up so much to get.
What I'm saying is that you've done,
and you could jeopardize your ability to establish depth, and you could also jeopardize your ability to be good into future years. I hear you saying 25, but he's still a high-risk player no matter what you tell me.
To me, he's not. He's still one of the better players in football.
I don't agree with the high-risk part,
there's so many high-risk players. There's so many.
Wole, I'm with you, Wole. I do not agree with the high-risk part.
All right. Okay. Thank you. That's all.
I don't agree with that. The man has 3 straight years of 16 games. Like, he plays through injury. He played on a really, really bad team. Like, they've changed the pieces around him. This dude is elite. He's elite. That's not the question. But when you go to build a team, I could take a loss on building the right way for 1 year. I can't take a loss on building the right way multiple years and multiple important picks. And then I'm losing valuable players to my team. That's why I'm against the Deshaun Watson. What's the name? I think that Matt Stafford would have been a better plug and play, even though he was older, because you only lose one quality player.
I get your point. I get it.
Right?
I get it.
And then you get to keep everything almost how it is, because the first rounder this year for y'all at 19, unless you trade back or trade up, was going to be It was probably going to be hogwash anyway, because if you get Mac Jones, it's going to be a problem. If you get
Mac Jones ain't good, man. Mac Jones ain't good.
Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, at 19, these are the type of players you have to look at.
No, I know. I agree. No, I agree. As I'm saying.
Right?
Yeah. I get your point, because that's the point where kind of like why I'm okay with losing the first round this year.
You're almost close enough to draft for best available player, but you're not. You could, but then at 19, who's going to be the best available player to you? Unless the only thing that I see at 19 that could possibly come in and be that outside of those three.
Yeah.
If you get a corner at 19 that could start day one, because you're going to lose. You're losing 3 corners this year.
Losing 2. Darby.
Darby's a free agent.
Darby won't come back. Well, he's getting courted by the Niners. He's getting courted by the Niners.
Darby's a free agent. Fabian Moreau's a free agent, and Danny Johnson's a free agent.
Danny Johnson don't play anywhere. But yeah, I got you.
But I'm saying you need depth. You need
There's only I agree with you. I think that if they get it, definitely. I believe they get Darby. They're gonna get Darby. I think Darby gonna sign back.
Darby's exactly what I've been saying.
Darby's already top on their. No, Darby's already top on their depth. But you can sign that, right? I'm saying you can sign that. Like the way you got Darby.
4 linebackers this year, Wole. You're losing 4 linebackers, and your
they're all trash.
They are. They are. But
they weren't good.
They are. But your best linebacker is Corey Holcomb. That's a liability.
Yeah, but he's all right though. Corey ain't bad. Corey, I mean, I've seen worse. With Cole Holcomb ain't worse. Bad.
I didn't say he was bad. I'm saying he's your best one.
At the moment he's the best one. I mean, at the moment he's the best one.
You can liability.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not going to argue that.
You need to build, and the best way build this team. It would have been a veteran quarterback and building around the veteran quarterback.
But you can still depending on No, what you go ahead. My bad, Go ahead.
I think you're going to lose too much trying to get Deshaun, and then you're going to need a year or 2 to get where you need to be with Deshaun.
See, that's what I'm saying. This is why I disagree. I think one, you're in an easier division. I mean, no knock on anything, but you're in an easier division where you got Deshaun Watson. So it's going to make things a little easier in terms of getting placement in that placement, just like Brady dealt with in the AFC East. There's a way when you're Deshaun, you can get better placement within the playoffs if you have somebody like Deshaun Watson. So that's a bonus. You don't think, bro, man. I'm saying like they're not as far off with a Deshaun Watson. I hold Deshaun Watson higher than most folks because I think Deshaun Watson is like that. He's one of the best. I think he's elite. So when I look at Deshaun Watson, I look at a dude that if you play him with Scary Terry, you add another weapon, you're going to win football games. You're not going to, regardless of the situation, I think some people look at with Ron Rivera, with this staff, what they're doing, you got Deshaun, you can win football games with Deshaun Watson. You plant that person.
Anyway. They're not going to pull the trigger anyway. Deshaun Watson is not coming to DC. It's not happening. But even the hypothetical, I get where you're coming from. Like you can still build even with him on the team.
Yeah,
I respect your opinion. I'm just saying I don't feel like it's the right move, and I feel like the direction you're headed in does not involve a big name like that. I feel like you just need to keep on building the way you have been, regardless of what you tell me. Regardless of what you tell me, but at the same time,
and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa.
$40 million
and Deshaun was the top guy this year, but he was my fantasy quarterback. And why that's relevant is because he would put up stats late in games where they were already basically going to take an L. Exactly. And they got to throw the ball for the rest of the second half.
You will not shortchange Deshaun Watson's talents.
No, bro. I'm not shortchanging. No. Deshaun Watson is
Deshaun Watson go to a team like Atlanta, and we're talking something totally different. Or the Giants, we're talking totally different.
Atlanta has no defense.
We're talking totally different, though. We're talking totally different. Go ahead.
Ray, let me help, please, Ray.
Okay.
Deshaun, you think it's a coincidence that in the worst season that Houston has had since Deshaun Watson got there,
Bradley Bill,
that this is the most yards,
it's not even close.
Touchdowns, the most yards and the most touchdowns he's thrown.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
It was this year. You think that's a coincidence?
No, because he has to come back all the time. You got to throw the ball more. That's football. Everybody knows
you
it's football.
Throw the ball more.
But we do know this though. But we know that we all got eyes, so we know who Deshaun Watson is.
We know that I'm not. When I say he's top 5, I legit mean he's top 5. And that's why I said it happened this year, because you seen him try to put a team on his back that wasn't carryable. He still made them look respectable at certain points. Right?
Yeah.
Now, the Washington football team showed us last year they don't need to be carried. They don't need to be carried. That's a luxury. This is a fine-tuned machine.
Mess with it, exactly.
Don't mess with a fine-tuned machine. If you want to lose one first round pick, no problem.
Bro. That's Riverboat Ron. You gamble. That's what Riverboat Ron is about.
And what happens most of the time when you gamble? What happens? You lose.
I don't know, man. I gamble. I win. So sometimes when I gamble, I win.
You already know it.
No, I win and lose. I do both. I do a little both, bro. I do a little. I lost enough, but I've won some big. I won big. I've done halfway. Okay, I went on a nice streak. I was on a nice streak. I have lost over. You're right.
If you tallied your winnings and your losses, you have more L's.
Yeah,
you have more L's.
I took a break.
When it comes to gambling,
I had a bad streak, so I took a break. But I had a really good streak. I had a real good streak. I had a real good streak. In Maryland Live, I was owning the game, bro. Anyway. But yeah, man, this has been a great discussion, though. This has been a great discussion, and I feel like we're about to be cut off. You know what I'm saying?
No, we're not. We're not. It said unlimited now, so you've been upgraded to unlimited. You read it wrong. So we're good.
What'd you see at?
It popped up and said you now been upgraded to unlimited. That's what it said. That's what it said.
Not me. It says a gift from Zoom. Oh yeah, you're right.
Exactly, genius. So we're fine. Exactly. You're wrong. You're wrong in that regard. You're wrong about this.
No, I'm right. I know I'm right. I'm like entertaining. I like entertaining.
It's hilarious because, dude, what's hilarious is you as a fan. I've watched you be depressed. I watch you be depressed as a fan and as a gambler, to be honest.
Yeah,
but as a fan, when you lost for so many years.
Yeah.
And part of the reason is because they reached like this with the
not like this though. They never did like this though.
I know, but no, you're right. But no, that's true. I'm just
saying. It's usually a dumb vet. It's usually a dumb vet.
Can't you appreciate now it being done?
Huh?
No, but I'm just saying, can't you appreciate now that a young nucleus is being
built? I think there's okay. I think you're getting.
And maybe a few free agents you can build for.
But let me explain myself.
You always be in competition.
You trying to make a splash,
you haven't competed. Your team has not competed on a consistent basis for years. But now it looks like that you're going to do that. Yeah. So don't mess with the process.
You add on.
The problem is you're trying to make a splash. You're trying to make a splash instead of having sustained excellence. That's the problem.
This is the thing.
If you do it the right way, you're gonna have sustained excellence.
I see what you
can be the best team in the NFC.
That's not what I'm doing.
6 to 7 years to come.
Yeah, that's not actually what I'm doing.
You're trying to make a splash to hopefully to get to the NFC Championship in the next 3 years and still lose it.
No, I think it's an opportunity. I think there's certain players that there's certain players and there's certain situations where you take once it's presented to you, gotta take it. And there's not a lot of players there's not a lot of players that you look at and you can say like, oh, they're worth this chance to take. You know what I'm saying? Like there's and I always believe in building on what the groundwork has done. Like I've always said that. If you ask me, I like what the Rams did. Like what the Rams did with Sean McVay. They didn't just they got some players, but they said, you know what? I'm gonna add Sue. I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add. They weren't scared. I'm gonna go trade for Jalen Ramsey. Like a lot. To be honest with you, to get Jalen. I was like, y'all really need Jalen, but they went and got Jalen. You know what I'm saying? But I get it though. Like I get it. No, I get it. No, I get why they did. I get it. No, they really didn't. Not to that point. Not to that point. Well, like they're not getting any further. Like I like Jalen. They didn't get any further. Like with Jalen, they didn't get any further. They didn't go to the Super Bowl. Like they've been to the Super Bowl without Jalen. You know what I'm saying? Like so, but I get it though. Like I feel like that's a type of.
But player. They're competing though. They're competing.
Right? Exactly. So when you get
playoff run, that's what you want. That's what you want, right? That's all I'm saying.
You get Deshaun. I'm not knocking that. I'm for that type of move. Like I'm always for it. Like you can get your players. You can have a select group of players. There are players on this team that are untouchable. You know what I'm saying? There are players on this Washington team that's untouchable. You've already built a good groundwork in terms of talent, young talent. You add another young star to the situation, I'm never going to be against that. I do get against adding 32-year-old whatever. I can argue that. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it, but I can. If you want me to debate it, wouldn't want to have a 32-year-old. You know what I mean? That's me though. But I do believe that you can have. Okay, I got a bunch of young players. They've showed me that they're playing hard and they want to win. I can add one more piece, and I know I can compete.
But I will lose pieces too. You're losing 6 players. Essentially.
Also,
no, you're losing 2 physical players. You're losing another 4 that was going to add to your team.
Nah, because they got money. They're going to add. They got money.
They don't have that much money. $45 million is not that much money.
Money. Believe me, Alex is going to retire. So when Alex retires, they're going to have money, man. I'm telling you, they're not going to get Deshaun. Put it this way. Let me be bluntly honest with you. If they get Deshaun Watson, Alex Smith will not be on this team. They will have money. So you're not going to have a deal. You're not going to have a team with Alex Smith and Deshaun Watson's contracts. That is not going to happen.
These are caveats that you did not mention.
No, but this is a guarantee. That's a guarantee, though. You have that's a guarantee. You're not gonna. You have quarterbacks on the. You're not gonna have Alex Smith and Deshaun Watson on the same team. That is a guarantee. Let me put that. I think we all. That's just it. You're not gonna. The premise of having, even when you get Matthews, if they try to get Alex Smith, who's not going to be on this team. That's already in the works. There's no way that you're going to go after a Stafford or Deshaun Watson with Alex Smith on the team. Not happening.
Quick question.
He doesn't have to retire, Wole.
No, I'm telling you, there's something in the works.
Quick question. This is not to debate.
Retire.
Huh? You said what?
I just want to ask a quick question to both of you. And this is not necessarily for debate. It's just thrown out there now. We love this defense. We said this defense is up and coming. It's pretty good. I always refer to it as a great young defense, emphasize young, because they weren't necessarily a great defense. They weren't like the 2000 Ravens, you know. And that's the thing. Can you fix the defense if you put too much money into one position? Because they still struggle against mobile quarterbacks. They still need linebackers.
That's the point.
That's what I'm saying. So can you still build? Are you still able to build if you invest too much into certain areas? That's all I'm asking.
To most points. So if we're going to look at the draft board, right, and if they keep in second rounders, right, they keep a second rounder, and they still got San Fran's third round pick. To most point, in the draft, there's a stretch to get a first round linebacker. You can get a linebacker in the second round. There's been multiple good linebackers in the second round. There's been multiple good second round linebackers that have been drafted. Yeah, there are some awesome. There's some awesome second rounders that you can, for value, that you can get. Linebackers that you can get that can start for you day one.
But if you get Deshaun, that second round is gone.
No, you can still if you can still finagle to a point. If you can get 2 first. If that's your goal, you can. No, you can trade a third. Have you seen? You can do it. Like it's out there.
You know what he's trying to do.
You've seen what Houston's asking for, right? Huh?
You know what he's trying to do, Ray? Read this hat.
The asking price just went up.
You've seen what Houston.
Asking price. Look, the asking price just went up. I showed you the link, right? I
showed you the link, right?
Yes.
You read the link,
but I'm
right?
saying.
You read the link, right? No, I'm asking you. You saw the link, right? What they're asking. I'm just telling you, right? You read it, right?
Yes,
it's 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, and 2 players.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What are you talking about?
But you could, depending on what years you want to match it out to. It doesn't have to be this year. It doesn't have to. You get what I'm saying? Like you can still work it.
Right, exactly. That's my point. That's my point. You talking about now? I'm talking about building for sustained success down the road. That's my point. Thank you for making it. Thank you, brother.
My point is that you have a 25-year-old, you can sustain. You can have sustained success. Thank you. Next.
There's no way in Houston. There's no way that Houston's giving up Deshaun Jackson. There's no way. There's no way that Houston's giving up Deshaun Watson. I'm sorry.
I know.
Giving up Deshaun Watson and not getting those.
I Coach Jackson too.
There's no way they're giving up Deshaun Watson.
I'm with you.
And not getting those picks in the next 2 years. It's no way.
Look, man. Look, this is a great discussion, man.
They've already lost their first round pick for this year to Miami.
Yeah, look, they can get look.
No way that.
Look, it can happen, bro. I'm telling you, it can happen. It's already Washington. If they wanted to make it happen, they can happen. I mean, I'm telling you, they can make it happen.
If you make it happen, your team is lesser and you're going backwards.
Look, I'm telling you, they make it happen with Deshaun or not. I can put money on that. We can gamble that one. We can gamble that. I guarantee you, if they make that trade happen, I guarantee you they win in the NFC East and they're getting and their record is double. They're winning 10 plus games. Guarantee you. I will
next season. Next season,
I will bet that.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree. I'm talking about as we move forward.
They will win the NFC East if they get Deshaun Watson.
That's not saying a lot, though, really.
One, Dak Prescott to be back.
Right, I will bet that. You heard me. I'm telling you, I will bet that. I like Dak's coming back. I like that. I actually like that.
Coming back.
But I'm not worried about that.
You guys won.
Yes.
What you win?
But Alex Smith as the quarterback with the
how many
Alex Smith.
You won the division, but how many divisional games did you win? You won 2 divisional games.
No, we won 2 divisional games. We beat the Eagles and we beat the Cowboys twice.
We
only lost to y'all. We only lost to y'all twice.
Four
games.
Bro.
Like this team will win.
They swept the Eagles and they swept the Cowboys. Yeah,
no, that's true. They didn't beat them week 1 in the last
I know what I'm saying. Like they get Deshaun Watson, they will win the NFC East.
They will not win the NFC East.
I'm telling you,
wow,
they get Deshaun.
Mo.
Even when I told you, right?
They will not.
Now, I'm not even going to debate that. Like, come on, seriously?
Great. They will not. If Dak Prescott comes back, I'm not. This is not about the Giants.
We talk about high risk players now. Look at the injury he's coming from. Now I'm going off an injury from years ago on Deshaun, correct?
Your point was false.
No, okay. My point is, it's even worse with Dak. That's my point. You can call me wrong all you want.
Deshaun Watson tore his ACL in college. He tore his ACL his rookie year, and he came back and he started 48 games in the last
question. Who's better, Deshaun Watson? I mean, Deshaun Watson's the best quarterback in the NFC East, right? He would be the best quarterback in the NFC East, right? This is really happening? Deshaun Watson almost beat freaking Pat Mahomes in a playoff game.
Let me stop you here.
Oh.
Before last season, Dak Prescott has a better spread. He has a better spread of success in the league. That's all I'm gonna say. Before last season,
we're going off last season.
And then
Deshaun Watson won a playoff game, right?
Which one?
Deshaun Watson won a playoff game, right?
Which one?
Deshaun Watson in the regular, he won a playoff game. He won.
Which one?
No, I'm saying he won one. I'm asking. Didn't he win one?
I don't remember Houston ever winning that.
I know they played the year they played Kansas City in the playoffs. Didn't he win the one before they played Kansas City?
Yeah, he did win one that year. Let me check.
He won.
I want to say it's the Colts he beat.
I want to see with the Colts. I know he won the playoff game. After they almost beat Kansas City, they were in that game in Kansas City where they couldn't beat Kansas City.
They beat Buffalo 22-19
in the playoffs. No, Buffalo's in the playoffs. Buffalo's in a drought. They win the playoffs that year.
No.
That was the year. What's his name? Yes, right. They were bad.
Second year.
Yeah, second year. So he won the playoff game, right? So
he's 1 and 2 in the playoffs.
So how many did Dak win a playoff game?
Dak had to win a playoff game.
Hadn't, right? Okay, so I'm just saying Deshaun has been better than Dak Prescott. It's not even. He's been better.
I mean that's kind of that's difficult to say. That's difficult to say.
But he's had
again.
Dallas has had talent for years. Dallas has had talent for years. I'm just telling you.
Houston used to have talent. Houston used to have talent.
Okay, Houston had with Deshaun Watson.
Houston had talent.
Who was Houston's running back?
Lamar Miller before he got hurt.
All right, Zeke Elliott. So Zeke Elliott.
That's fine.
For this season.
That is fine.
You're leaning on Zeke. You're leaning on Zeke. They're leaning on Deshaun.
Hey, Mo. Real talk though, Mo.
I'm not comparing the talent. I'm just telling you. Asked about talent. I was naming the talent.
But before Amari Cooper, Dak was kind of struggling for real.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Now he played well for a young player. Don't get it twisted. But in comparison to Deshaun been putting up numbers. Deshaun had weapons. Deshaun had weapons.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not going to dispute that.
He's had the best wide receiver in football since he's started.
Again,
we're saying with Lamar.
Hold on, but you said Deshaun emerged as a top 5 quarterback last season, right? Dak didn't play, unfortunately, a lot of last season, so that's all we can go off of. So we can't say that Dak is going to come back automatically be the same player. The division ain't good. To Wole's point, whether you got a good Dak or not, Dak, they weren't winning with Dak. They weren't winning with Dak.
Bro.
So you can still win the NFC East. It don't make a difference.
He's a quarterback. He's going to come back and he's going to be over 4,000 yards with that.
Okay, but they weren't winning.
They still weren't winning.
They still weren't winning.
They weren't winning.
They were hurt week 5.
But they weren't. They were losing. They still lost to Atlanta. Atlanta gave them a win.
You said it. Atlanta gave them a gift. That's the only reason. That was your word.
I know this. I know that Atlanta gave them a gift.
The division is going to be winnable with no matter who's at quarterback.
I'm just telling you, man. That's true. Who's at quarterback? It makes it easier when you got Deshaun.
The division.
This was an anomaly, man. This was an anomaly.
I'm telling you. Bro, I'm telling you, you get Deshaun Watson.
You know the three teams that Dak Prescott lost to this year?
Atlanta.
The fourth.
No, Rams. He lost the Rams.
He lost to
the
Cardinals.
No.
He lost the Rams.
Dak Prescott lost the
Rams. I'm sorry.
He lost to Seattle. He lost to all playoff teams except for the Giants.
And Atlanta. He lost to Atlanta.
He
They
didn't
beat
lose to the
Atlanta. Sorry, they
Giants.
beat Atlanta. Sorry.
They beat the Giants.
They beat Atlanta.
The game he went out, they beat the Giants.
Yeah, they beat.
Yeah, they beat the Giants. So he beat Cleveland. He lost to Cleveland.
All right, so this is the problem. This is the problem with this argument. This is the problem with this argument. This is the problem. This is the problem with this argument with that. We can't. No, this is the problem with this argument. The playoff teams that we're not. The problem is that the Cowboys are talented and they still are losing games. Like the Cowboys don't have so talent. I get you saying they lost to all playoff teams, but the Cowboys arguably are more talented than the Rams. The team that they
no,
beat.
They're not. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Arguably or not? So all right. So name me. I can name. All right. Sorry.
Who is Aaron Donald on Dallas for Dallas?
Look,
Who's the caliber of Aaron Donald?
No.
Aaron
Donald
is the top 1%.
Look, you talk. All right.
Aaron Donald's the top 1%.
I love Aaron's the best. Aaron's one of the best.
He's the top 1%.
I'm not even arguing that. But you said as a whole. We're talking about as a whole, not just a couple players.
Everybody.
So we named Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald.
That was this year. I'm not.
All right, so this year, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald. We're naming talent.
This year versus Dak because he's out.
You know what I'm saying? You said talent. I'm just saying who got more talent. You said Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Cooper Kupp. You want to say Robert Woods? All right, so I could say Amari Cooper. What's the dudes? What's the
Amari Cooper?
CeeDee Lamb, Zeke Elliott. Who else?
Marcus
Lawrence.
DeMarcus Lawrence has 8 sacks since he signed.
But we're saying talent. I'm talking about stretch. I'm talking about stretch talent. Alden Smith. Sorry, Alden Smith.
That's not talent. Alden Smith is not talent.
Alden Smith is not talent.
He's not talent. Alden Smith has been out of football for
5
years.
Thank you. Thank you, Mo. You're making an argument. This is why the NFC East sucks.
That doesn't make that doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
It does suck. It does suck.
That don't change that. That don't change what you say.
Washington football team has a great chance to win the division. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like the Washington. They got that's my point. You add Deshaun Watson, they can win a division.
There you go.
You have a rookie running back. You have a rookie running back that's hurt. That got hurt.
You like Diggs, right? You like Diggs, right? You don't like Diggs?
Little Diggs?
Trevon Diggs.
He's not a good player. He's not a good player.
Wow. Okay.
Hey.
Like, what are y'all watching? The boy he got toast.
I mean, to me, he competes. I think I'm not even a Cowboy fan. I'm not even a Cowboy fan. I'll tell you, I think Diggs gonna come up. I think Diggs is gonna be a good baller.
Individual talent, or are we talking about what makes sense for the teams? Little Diggs.
So who's the talent? Who's talented on the Rams? Who's the talent on the Rams? Because I'm who's the talent?
Jalen Ramsey is the best corner in the league.
Ramsey.
Aaron Donald is the best defensive lineman in the league.
Go ahead, two.
Aaron Donald's the best defensive lineman in the league.
And wide receiver wise,
Cooper Kupp and them, they're
not better than Dallas wide. So you name me two. So who's the other? Because you said they're so much better. Like the Rams talent.
When you had, like you said about Deshaun Watson, your point about Deshaun Watson is he's so good, right? He's so good.
Yeah,
they have two of those guys on. They have two of those guys on.
Exactly. That's my point. Okay? Exactly. When you're that good, it masks everything. Right? You just said it for me.
It didn't mask everything in Houston. What are you saying? It didn't mask everything.
He's masked. He's that good.
It did not mask anything in Houston.
It was that good. But you know why? Because again, that defense was good.
Really
you know what? They didn't mask. No, just a point. Like again. The Rams were a complete team. Their defense was a top 3, top 5.
That's my point. You guys will not be a complete team if
you put in the offense.
Right. You won't be a complete team if you lose your players.
You still will because the players that you're probably going to lose were hurt. That's my point, and they were still deep enough to work.
You have to
some of the players.
That's where you're wrong, bro.
Right. Who was a game changer on defense for Washington? What was the difference from Washington?
Why do you think? No.
Montez Sweat definitely was a game changer.
Montez was a game changer. He'll still be on the team. What about Chase Young? Right?
Chase Young
He'll still be on the team. Those two will still probably be on the team.
Why do you
add that with Deshaun Watson?
Sure.
You should still be able to be game changer. You still should be good.
It's a good argument.
I'm gonna make one last point about this. The trade ain't gonna happen because y'all don't have enough assets. I'll tell you why. Because I'm not trading for injured players. I'm not trading for injured players. No team is doing that. No team is trading for injured players.
You got to give us something good.
That I'm mentioning, but they got assets. It may not be those players, but they have assets.
Been hurt the last 2 years.
It may not be No, I agree. It may not be the players I mentioned, but they have the assets. They have the assets to get them. They have the assets.
So let's go there. So if it's not the players that you're talking about that are hurt, that are quality players that are hurt.
It could be Jonathan Allen. I'm sure.
So you're going to have to lose Jonathan Allen and
Because you're probably going to lose him anywhere. You're probably going to lose Jonathan Allen anyway.
You're going to have to lose Jonathan Allen, a quality player. You're giving up Jonathan Allen because that makes sense for your argument. I don't want a player that I'm not getting Jonathan Allen a hurt player. I'm going to want somebody that produced last year and is pretty good. You're going to have to give up Montez Sweat.
They're going to give up. Sweat is a possibility. I won't even lie.
You're going to have to give up Montez Sweat at least.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. But there's an argument. There's an argument. But see, this is to Ray's point. Ray knows this. There's an argument to this because we said this before. You can give up Jonathan Allen, and I've always said this. I think everybody knows this. Matt Ioannidis has been the best player on the defensive line when healthy. You can give up Matt Ioannidis, and I'm sure they'll take that because Matt Ioannidis has been the best defensive player on the D line interior.
He's also been the one that's been hurt the most.
But I'm saying if you get the best player, no, he's been hurt this year. No, actually, Jonathan Allen has, but not Matt Ioannidis. But that's a whole different argument. So Jonathan Allen, so you want like Matt Ioannidis, you can give him up and still, and he played. I think Matt played most of last year. This year he got hurt. But you put Matt Ioannidis, you're good, and I'm telling you, you'll take that deal.
I do trust the coaching staff when it comes to the defense. I will say that. Because I feel as though you can plug in some pieces. Again, my whole argument, this is the last time I'm going to stay on it, is I'm thinking as a franchise, you want to build for sustained success down the road. Right? That's all I'm saying.
And I like that way
that's my thing. But the NFC East is winnable. If you in win now mode, which Ron Rivera has repeatedly stated they weren't, he recognized an opportunity this season, which was great, and it worked out for him. But he wants to build, and Deshaun Watson, to me, is not necessarily building the way I'm thinking.
But see, all right, Ray, to your point though,
a young team should be. So Ray, you're not. I'm not gonna say you're wrong because he is a young guy, but I think it's just giving up a lot.
No, I get you saying, Ray, but to your point though, if that was the way, if he was thinking that way, he went for you. I'm saying to your point, do you think his mindset is different because he included himself? Because obviously he included himself in the Matt Stafford trade. Do you think his mind changed differently now than what he stated?
Because that's one asset. That's one asset. That's not multiple assets.
Because you're giving up. Because Ray's talking about just building Ray. Are you saying not to trade first rounders? Like you wanted everything from the draft, right?
I don't think you should.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm going to Ray's point. So Ray, so your point is like basically your point is like so I'm just saying Ray to your from talking from Ray's argument. So I'm saying like you don't think his mindset is Rivera's mindset has changed to now he's allowing himself to say, you know what? I mean, I can give up a first rounder or whatever
I don't think so. I think this situation is different. You're in no man's land in the draft at number 19. You're in no man's land.
Look, man, it's gonna be great, man. When they get Deshaun Watson jersey and they go with the Giants, man. We're gonna have a good show. Listen, Watson versus the Giants. Watson versus the Cowboys.
I am not as a Giants fan. I am not concerned about the Washington football team. Y'all have not beat us in 2.5 years. I am not concerned. We have beat y'all.
With Deshaun Watson? 8
times.
But with Deshaun Watson, though. With a mobile quarterback. With a quarterback who can move. With a quarterback who can move. Look, man, look. We going to bet the Jasper Tiger wins.
What do our African parents say? I said, look at me. I said, look at me. Hey, I'm not worried about the Washington football team.
All right, man, this is going to be great. Look, man, this is great, man. Deshaun Watson, if he comes to town, he's not coming to town. They're probably Cam Newton for real. But this is good, though, man. This has been a good debate. Hey, real talk, they're going to get Cam Newton for real, though. But this is a good debate, though. This has been a good debate.
God bless y'all endeavors if they get Cam Newton.
No, it is. I mean, you just gotta put 2 and 2 together.
He's low risk, though. You know what I mean?
Low risk.
I'm not worried about that. I don't see Cam Newton as being somebody that you're building for the future.
Yeah.
The hope.
No, he's not. No, not at all.
Right. So that's the point. But Deshaun would be the future. That's my concern.
He would be the future.
And that's what I don't want for this team. I want them to build a strong team. Like you said, teams win Super Bowls. You said
I agree. I've always said it. That's what I said. That's why.
Quarterback.
Yeah, that's why That's why I'm in favor of getting like a Cam because you can still stall time and build your whole system.
Cam is not good.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Let's leave Cam.
Cam is going to look Mo, like it or not. Look. Sometimes you just gotta look at the writing on the wall. You gotta put 2 and 2 together, and what it is.
I see it. I'm not saying. I'm not.
All right, then you know, man.
I'm just saying it's not a good move. Whether it's writing on the wall or not, it's not a good move
because you had Alex Smith as a quarterback who couldn't
move.
At least you got Cam Newton who can move the ball and stretch you deep. Regardless of what you feel about
throw the football.
No, look. He can throw the football with this.
He cannot.
Yes, he can, man. I told y'all. Look at the stats before Edelman went down, and look at the stats before Edelman went down. Look at the stats before Edelman went down, man.
Listen,
look at the stats before Edelman went down.
Cam Newton is finished. Give up on Cam.
Cam Newton is just as good as Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones got a starting job. Cam Newton, all right? And I like Daniel Jones. And I like Daniel Jones, man. You made me like I like Daniel Jones. And I like Daniel Jones.
I'll tell you one thing. Daniel Jones versus the Washington football team
undefeated.
Looks like Aaron Rodgers.
Look. But if you give them, if you got Deshaun Watson, he's not going to look like Aaron Rodgers. With Deshaun Watson, he ain't going to look like Aaron Rodgers no more, though.
That ain't none of my business.
Look. If he get Deshaun Watson, he ain't going to look like Aaron Rodgers no more.
That ain't none of my business.
He ain't going to look. That division coming, and they get Deshaun Watson. You always well say it now. Deshaun Watson, the DC, NFC East shut down. It's shut down.
I don't worry about the Washington football team when they play the New York football team.
Look, man, hey.
Until they do something.
Who won the division? That's all that matters, right? That's all that matters.
That's all that matters?
Not really, it sucks. But still,
this year?
Look, man.
If you want,
you got your coach complaining. Your coach complaining like this thing was a prize joy.
What did I tell you?
Not you. I know, not you, Mo. I'm just saying. For some people, it's a prize joy. You're like the Giants coach is about to be in damn near tears because the Eagles gave this W up.
Man. Yeah, I don't want to make playoffs like that.
I'm done. It's gonna be a
fun
off season.
It's gonna be a fun off season.
I'm glad Deshaun's not coming. They're gonna build the right way. It's gonna be
if he comes to DC, man, we're gonna have a great show, bro.
It's not gonna be a great show.
Like it's gonna be a great show. We're gonna have so much to talk about, man.
Oh, the show will be great. I thought you were talking about the football quality.
That's gonna be great. That's gonna be lit. The season's gonna be lit, man. Look,
you don't have the assets on offense.
No. I guarantee you, if Deshaun Watson comes here, of course they're gonna get more national TV games, no doubt. I will admit that. I mean, it's gonna be fun. It would be fun to watch, but I'm just talking about. I've lived here my whole life. I've seen what bad football has looked like, and I'm just saying I feel like they're moving in the right direction right now. And like Mo said, cook it in the oven or the crock pot, the slow cooker. Why mess with the microwave, man?
Why mess with the microwave?
Do it organically, baby. Organic is better all the time. Remember that. Organic food, baby.
Let me tell you something. Another avenue I would rather see. I would rather see this team trade back.
Yeah, I thought about that.
I would love to see them trade back a couple of picks where a player makes sense and they get an additional asset out of it.
It depends who falls to him, man. It all depends on who can fall to him.
You have corners that you need. You need multiple corners. You need multiple.
They're not gonna go corner like folks think they are.
You need multiple corners. You need multiple linebackers, and you can use an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, offensive lineman is gonna be in the later round. Again, they like to give him LSU, so. That's the kid from the kid Ishmael. I forgot what he drafted. They drafted him pretty high last season. So they got two offensive linemen didn't play last year that they are quite high on. So they're going if they draft an offensive lineman, my prediction it'll be probably in the third round ish. I believe that it will draft I do like the idea of drafting going back in the draft. I like that idea. I thought about that idea. I thought about that myself.
There's teams that can use that 19th pick. And
yeah, I know. I agree. It all depends on the talent because they're going to draft. Like if a player that they want that's high on their board that falls to them, then they'll take it. Just like they didn't expect to get Jonathan Allen the year they got him.
I don't see anybody falling like that.
There's always somebody. There'll be a player they need that falls. There's always somebody. The only person
that can possibly be there is Waddle. If Waddle is there, take him.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's some players. If Waddle's
there, take him.
Yeah,
but he also fills a position of need.
That's facts. I agree. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, Waddle and Watson couldn't happen. But if that happened, that'd be amazing. We got to close the show out though, man. This has been a great show. Amazing. I appreciate the fellas. You all rock, man. Watson may not happen, may happen, but it's been a great discussion. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Search all Burgundy and go everything with the Urban Sports Scene. Also, tweet us at Urban Sports Scene and hit us up on our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Hey, thanks for listening to myself, Mo, Ray, Jeezy about this whole discussion. It's been lit. You know what I mean? If y'all have anything y'all want to say, feel free to tweet us, hit us up on Facebook. All right. You've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything with the Urban Sports Scene on Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. You dig? Deuces. Hey, Mega, lead us out, big homie.
You